about the Ghetto Wives. I've been crying because I just watched the episode and Josh had me in tears. But let's talk about these the ghetto collective because I have so many thoughts. So many thoughts. Let's get into it.
Get busy in here, get busy in here. Yeah, my squad run deep. Yeah, we really in here. I swear whatever you want, you can get it in here. Comedy or the drama, it's a mixture in here. But you love it in here. Yeah, you love it in here. Got reviews up in here. We got stories in here. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit the bell. Oh yeah, 3 clicks like the shoes on Dorothy in here.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy BusyBlu, and I am back with another video. I've been going through a time, so I've been on and off, but I said whatever moves me to talk is then when I will talk. Y'all see I'm in a different location because it's 8 o'clock in the morning and my man is still asleep. So I want to talk about this Belle collective reunion. I've been watching the whole season, but I haven't been able to talk about it. Really just because I just want to disassociate and just watch reality shows or whatever. And I appreciate everybody who's been supporting me and helping me and been there for me. So I appreciate that. Also, like, comment, subscribe, let the people know that you came by. Let's talk about this. The Ghetto Collective. So this is the first thing that I want to say, and I hate to say this, but I gotta do it. Carlos, you getting too big for your britches. Like, I love Carlos King. Like, I aspire to be him and to work for him. Like, if I ever quit my job in politics, I would want so happily to work for him. I would want to just study how he works. Get off of that. I would want to study how he works, how he does it, his concepts, his minds, everything. Like, he inspires me. His storytelling ways, everything. He's so good at it. And I think that he truly does want authenticity. This reunion, though, I'm not feeling it. Because I'm not feeling how he is communicating with them and how he's running it and directing it. It just, I don't like it. Some stories we need a little bit more on, and if they're going to argue, let the girls argue. We need to hear this stuff. He's not even letting them argue. Alexa, turned into 100%. He not even letting the girls argue. Like, let the girls fight. Let us know what's going on, what they got to say, and film that. He keeps shutting stuff down. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to move on. No, we not. She just said something. It's just, he's not doing a good job on this reunion. Carlos King is doing the worst job as the host. He'll ask them a question. Then the girls get fired. They get activated. Now they arguing with each other. And what we want to see is the argument with each other. I'm telling y'all, go to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion. When Andy Cohen shut the up and just sat there and let them have their discussions with each other. That's what I want. We're trying to get to know them. We're trying to get to the bottom of their stories. Let them converse. So if we put a question out there, pose a question, yes, it's going to get heated. People may get loud. They do need to get better at, it's your turn to talk, it's my turn to talk. I think I learned that from Candace Diller from Real Housewives, Diller Bassett from Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, they understand, okay, it's your turn to talk, my turn, because we don't want to mess up production. So, okay, so you talk, then I talk. But then if we start yelling at each other, okay, then it's going to be a little bit more heated. But they have both our mic packs, so we can both hear. They can both hear. They can hear both of us. Carlos is doing a horrible job at letting them actually have the conversation. Let them have the conversation. And it's really bothering me and this is the part 2. It's been really bothering me that he is not letting them have the conversation. It's just, oh, so y'all hate each other, and then they start arguing. He's like, well, we're moving on. Girl, let them talk. Let them talk. I feel like there's so much more we could have gotten out of this season and out of this reunion had he just let them have the conversation. And we cannot get resolved. And maybe that's what he wants. Maybe he doesn't want resolve. Since I'm gonna stick on part 2, I know a lot of people hate Marie Monroe. I don't. Sorry, can't do it. From what I see on my television screen, I think she's the realest one. And I think she gives authenticity. Now, I know a lot of people talk about her and her mom, and they feel like, oh, she's using her mom for a storyline. It's her, like, I don't understand how you use your mom for a storyline if your relationship with your mom is your reality. And this is reality TV. And you have a problem. It's not difficult to connect the lines of this young girl going through issues with her mother with substance abuse, who then decides, well, you know what, I'm gonna create a substance abuse program, and then that's how I'll be able to fix my relationship with my mom. And then she creates a really good one. I don't know if they'll steal money or not. That has nothing to do with me. And then she creates one because she's trying to help other people because she really wanted to help her mom. And then she's still trying to help her mom, and she's having a hard time with it. I don't understand how the world is just not seeing that. It seems like a really easy thing to understand. Now, is it generational trauma? 100% in for sure. But it seems very easy to understand that the girl went through trauma as a young person and really wanted her mother in her life. And the thing that stopped her was the substance abuse. So then she grew up to be a woman who wanted to stop substance abuse. I don't understand why the people are like, oh, Marie, I can't believe Marie Monroe. She's so fake. This actually seems like she's reliving her trauma regularly, just trying to help her mom. And she can help 100 people in her state, and she can never help her mother. And that is really traumatic. And I feel sorry for her and sad for her. And it does seem like something that's real and that she's going through. For some reason, it seems like the rest of the audience are like, no, she's mean. She can't get it. I'm sure she has tough skin. She had a crackhead as a mother. I don't think you'll be the nicest person either. Let me read some of these comments. Carlos let Marie and Miss Person interrupt everyone. That is kind of true. I can agree with that about what you're saying about Carlos. Yeah, because he just wants to be the star of the show, and I think he's getting too big for his britches, and he's starting to realize that yes, he is the name. But even Andy Cohen shuts up sometimes. And I think Carlos needs to, and it was really bothering me. It was really seriously bothering me. Really, I'm not sure what you're talking about. That may be so busy, but she is a bully and not likable. I can understand that. I can understand why people feel like she is like that. I feel in my heart, I do feel like she's just, if I'm gonna be honest, I feel like Marie be telling the truth and a lot of the other girls be lying. Like, I don't believe nothing, and hate me. I don't believe nothing that come out of Latrice's mouth, and I don't believe nothing that come out of Tambra's mouth. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And even Latrice talked about how we've caught Latrice in so many lies. She's cute. She's likable. She's Portia Williams. But she's a liar. She is a liar. And Tambra is boring as... I'm sorry. And I think that Marie, out of anyone, because she bringing her crackhead mother to the table, I think she's the one who's down to tell the truth in her story. And everybody else just kind of tiptoeing, acting like they are. Sorry. That's how I feel. It's what I believe. And I know a lot of people got a problem with Marie, but Marie's like, well, bitch, I'm bringing my crackhead mom to the table. You can't tell your truth? You can't tell your truth? You say your husband not putting his hands on you, but we literally see a scene of him grabbing you. You mad at me because I'm sitting here standing on business? I'm sorry. Like, the audience confuses me for the Belle Collective because they hate Marie Monroe because she be telling the girls what it is. And she, knowing her story and her background and how she had to grow up and live, she has a hard shell. And now that hard shell goes into everything. You ain't gonna trust me. You ain't gonna get over me. Now she did have that gay husband allegedly, but outside of that, y'all not gonna overpower me, and lie to me. And if I'm coming here bringing my best, you need to bring your best too. You a liar, and that ain't true. And now the people, oh, she's a bully. She's this, that, too much. No, y'all people are lying. The ones y'all like, they be lying. I don't believe nothing that comes out of Latrice's mouth, and I hate Tambra. Like, I despise her. I do not want her on the show. I don't give two about this baby. I don't care about her. I don't care about Demond. And because that's really all she got. I don't care about none of that. To be honest, it would have been great. Like Marie Monroe said, if she had talked on this show about that stuff that she was going through with that boyfriend who hit them up. She didn't talk about none of this domestic violence stuff, none of that. Her story is boring. It's boring. It's common, and I think that a lot of women can relate to it, but now you got the baby. What's next, girl? Because now we don't got to talk about your fibroids. We don't have to talk about infertility. You trying to find a man who will just put sperm in you. What's next? You don't have nothing. To be honest, you lucky that Marie Monroe don't like you. You don't got nothing. I'm angry because of the last segment, and I'm displacing it on the whole show. So y'all take that into consideration as I'm talking. Because Carlos King made me so mad during this last part. So then we go through Marie Monroe's section. No one's gonna not make me stand Marie Monroe. I get her, I see her, I understand her trauma. And I think it's very easy for the world to understand her trauma. People just selectively decide not to because they feel like she doesn't talk to people nice, or she's not nice or kind to people. But she had a crackhead as a mother, so what do? You get hard skin. But she literally has been trying to save her mom since the beginning of her career. Like, it shows. And that's deep trauma. But I'll leave that alone. Then we get to what did they talk about next? They talked about, hold on, let me go into it. We talked about Tambra and that guy and the trauma that she was going through, and if it was domestic violence. Tambra said she never thought about him, so it wasn't real. Latrice said she knew about it. I was bored. I don't want anybody to go through a domestic violence situation. I'm glad she got out. I'm glad she's okay. But she's not honest. And I'm sorry. And you can see it in her eyes. She's not honest. She's just not honest. And I do not like that. So I get what, and I didn't talk about this, and I wanted to do a video about it, but I did it. I get what Marie and Letitia are saying. Girl, this man reached out to us. He wanted to say something. Okay? We did not know what was going on with you. I don't talk to you. When we said something to you, you didn't say nothing. We sat down with the man. All you had to do was say this man was bopping me up upside the head, or he's a clout chaser or something. Tambra don't say nothing. Now y'all mad at me? Girl, you better be like you got a story. You got something. Why my cat yelling? Even he mad at Tambra. You better be lucky you even got a story. See, he said right. It just don't make no sense. And I believe them when they said, well, girl, we didn't know who we was meeting up with. We was just trying to understand what was going on. And you don't say nothing to us. So how will we have known? Now, was it a little messy? Yes. A lot of messy? Yes. But girl, we don't know nothing about you. We can learn it from the man. Come on. So we get past that thing. Then we get to the part that I'm really struggling with emotionally. And this is where I have a problem with Carlos King. And I think who said it? I think it was Giving You the Real Tea. Yes, I think we need a new host. When I say I was tearing up and crying, I was out here crying, trying to keep my voice. Now I'm yelling. I'm sure, Tater Bay gonna wake up soon, but the husbands come out. He gives the goddamn shirt, whatever. Everybody, husbands come out. I think at this point the only husband I like is what's the girl from New York City? Her husband. I think he's the only one that I like right now. Like everybody else, okay, y'all can go. I think I despise Cliff. Glenn is a psycho that we deal with because I really feel like he putting on a show, and I'm not 100% certain how much of him that we see on the show is really him. Because when we first started this whole series, wasn't he on a boat for like months? Not a man home all the time. Like how much is just being put on for the show? Because wasn't you on a boat for half the year, and that was like Letitia's storyline? Now you always home. Like it's something about it just feels performative, and I'm just dealing with the performativeness. I can feel like some things were real, but also it's just like, girl, what are you doing? And then who's the other husband? The one who was married to the dancing dog. Well, not married to her, but yes, he was married to the dancing dog girl. I like him, but he's also just extra. Like, I feel like for a couple, those two are just there. That realtor and the dancing dog ex-husband, JJ, yeah, he's just there. I think that he tells the truth, and he's a truth teller. When the men get together, JJ not lying. But he's just there. I think the one I like the most is old girl's New York's husband. He's my Teddy Ruxpin. He's like, sorry, my cat is going through something right now. Big Willie, that's my favorite one. He's if I had a husband, it would be Willie. So all of them come out, they all talk about all of their stuff. Then we get heavily onto Latrice. This my whole thing with Carlos hosting this show. I know he's trying to warm the girls up and make them feel good before he asks the hard questions. We don't have time for that. Latrice, a lot of the people on the internet feel like you're an amazing woman, inspiring woman. You've done so much good for the community. You're a pillar. But they're also nervous about whether or not you are in an abusive relationship. What do you feel about that? Like, you don't need to do all of that stuff. What do you think about the comments about people saying that you're in an abusive relationship? One. Two, there's several types of abuse. And I felt like he kept focusing on this. Now, we did see Cliff physically touch her and handle her, which was not good. But also I feel like she is verbally abused. That man is just, he's not kind. He's not kind. And he's shown that in the way that he speaks to everyone. And I know sometimes we get older people a pass or the elderly a pass. He's not kind. And I cannot imagine that he speaks to her any better. And I think that Carlos kept trying to hit on a specific point that wasn't what I think the viewers are looking at. Girl, you are being verbally, if not physically, verbally abused. Sorry. Like you the way he just speaks. And it was just so much of Carlos being like, well, are you safe? Do people touch you? And what's going, God, that's not what we think. I don't think he's smacking her down. And they got away with that because I don't think that part's true. I don't think he's treating her like anime. But I do think that he talks to her in a nasty way, in nasty tone. And her daddy issues have her now being in a relationship where this man is really not kind to her. And that's what I wanted him to really try to pull out a lot more. What about how he talks to you and speaks to you? What about the rules that are set? And it really did seem like Latrice was uncomfortable up there and she was afraid about what some of the people would say. He probably shakes her a little bit. And the thing is, I don't know about that. I don't want to say that I think the man is putting his hands on her, but like my granddaddy who grew up in the South, sometimes I don't want to talk to him because it just comes out so forceful and mean. And maybe he's not even trying to be, but I don't want to hear that. And I feel like that's how Cliff talks to Latrice. And even worse, I feel like Latrice felt shaken up throughout the whole entire that part. And she seemed uncomfortable. And I want to applaud Leticia when he was like, well, has she ever confided in you and said some stuff? And she's like, well, unlike Latrice, I'm going to shut up. I'm not going to say nothing. And I applaud Leticia for being like, girl, I know your business, but I'm not going to say it. But I know your business. And I do want to applaud Latrice for doing that. Monique said, I think he shakes her too because it was quick for him to jump her. That is true. When they got to the end bar and he like touched her and grabbed her, like that whole scene was so uncomfortable. Even when they went outside and it was yelling, she's like, we're not gonna do this. He's like, we gonna do whatever I say we're gonna do. Calling her all types of B's and everything. Sometimes I recognize if I say like a curse word, even if I'm not like I'm not swearing at my party, I would never do that. But if I say something that has a cuss word in it, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry that I even said that, because I would never use that language with somebody that I love. Even Latrice's mom said, mom seems worried about the relationship. Not Thanos. Not Thanos. Monique said, Josh, she knew some D stuff in there. Say much. Okay, so let's get to that. And then I'm gonna get off because I'm gonna keep this. I want to keep this really short. It's just I was crying. I was like, let me get on. Carlos really frustrated me when trying to force. First of all, Cliff is not a welcoming and kind person, and us as a gay male, I have a lot of female friends who confide in me about a lot of stuff that happens, and I'm ready to nuck and buck. I don't think that he's he's that type, but down south, those girls get scrappy, so maybe he is. But I'm ready to nuck and buck if one of my friends was like, "Oh, he put his hands on me. He did something. He hit me." Like, let's go. He did what? Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Um, and it gets hard sometimes when you get confided in with a whole lot of stuff from your girlfriends. And I'm sure, I guess friends in general, they go through this, but your friends confide in you with so much stuff, but then they staying with them and you trying your best to just keep it cute. Then you move in and witness it. Now you really like, I'm trying to keep this marriage together. Also my place to stay. What am I supposed to do? I feel like Josh was in the worst predicament. And I do believe him when he said, I felt like Latrice told me stuff so I can bring it up. I felt that way. She tried to lie and act like, I tell my friends a lot of stuff. No, I'm vocal because my friends know I'm vocal. I'm vocal and you told me things because that I would say some shit. And you told me stuff so that when we having breakfast in the morning, I'll be like, well, why you can't do it? Because that's what you've been complaining about. And I become your advocate. Because you're not going to be your advocate. And I believe Josh when he said that. And then Latrice sat in his face. Josh, you need a new friend. You really do need a new friend. Now, I feel like you got a job where you could do whatever you want because that's your best friend. So I would say it's hard to take it away because, I'll work there too. But she'll throw you under the bus. Now, I don't know what she do behind the scenes, but it sounds like that lady will throw you under the bus when she get tired or when she's trying to save her own ass. Because that's what she did. She would tell you things and she would confide in you, and then you saw things, and then you realize, okay, this lady's not. And then now you start bringing it up, and now you're like, oh, God, Josh just so crazy. Girl, bye. And then here's Cliff sitting there being the most aggressive, the most mean person sitting at that table. Y'all saw how big Willie had. He wants nothing to do with him. And I love that. For the man that I like. Willie wanted nothing to do with him. He couldn't roll his eyes enough. When Latrice, when Cliff was talking about, well, if she's being abused, she could call 911, the cops will be there. And Willie was rolling his eyes like, that is not how that is not how life works. How long was Tina Turner with Ike? It don't happen that fast. And people are together for a long time and don't say nothing. Well, she wanted to, she could call 911. I don't know. It don't make, girl, shut up. And I was happy that when Joshua was there, he told him to shut up several times. And I will say that Willie smiled every Y'all need to go back and rewatch it. Willie smiled every time Josh said, "Shut up, shut up, shut up. Why are you talking? Shut up, shut up." Because somebody needs to tell him to shut up. Let me read some of these comments. Oh God. Latrice got the hot grits. You think so? Do you think, but do you really think so? What's up, April? What's up, really BTV? We talked yesterday, y'all. I had I called you this morning. What's up, April? Listen, Latrice and that old man, she's so worried about the old man. She's serving. She's okay. He need to go. He does. His time's coming. This reunion was messy, very messy, very messy. Shay said, "Me too, Josh. Know so much stuff about Latrice and Thanos." And I think he's trying to help his friend, but in turn, the man Thanos, he don't want to hear that. He don't want to hear that. And y'all put it in the comments because this was kind of a new revelation. Y'all think he was kicked out or he was just like, I'm not dealing with this? Because Josh said, and to be honest, you didn't kick me out. I left. Do you think that? Or do you think he was kicked out? Now, I know, again, we would not stay in an uncomfortable situation. It's not safe for us. And if this is not, girl, it don't look good for me here, y'all be cool. I'll be gone. So what do y'all think that he left or he got kicked out? Good morning, Jacob. She's so worried about the old man clip, man. She doesn't know what to do. Okay, with her best friend, leave him alone because this girl is a train. Yeah, she's at the center, and she need to pick a side. Shay said, "I think both can be true." I think both can be true too. I could think that she just confided in him, and I also could think that also she wants him to say it. He need to leave Latrice alone because old girls don't know. That's what I feel. And I think it's scary for him to try to keep trying to befriend her when she acting like this. When and I think I'm going to start tearing up. Let me get off of this computer. When all of that was happening and Cliff was just being very disrespectful, which I wanted Carlos to tell Cliff to shut the up. And he was saying, it's like a little puppy, playing with a big dog, and Latrice trying to say, well, I wish we did have our relationship that we had back again. He's a relationship. Girl, ain't nobody calling you gay or not. Like, there's different forms of relationship. It was just high and by. Was it, girl? Was it? Nobody's saying you were sleeping with the man, but you could have been friendly with him. And that's okay. It's okay to treat a human being nice. Well, let's just not say it like that. You're just homophobic. And then he's calling him a puppy, and then saying Glenn is a big dog. We doing big dog stuff, but Joshua's a little puppy. It got so horrible. And then he was just saying stuff like, "Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." And Carlos had the nerve to ask Josh, "Do you accept that apology?" I even said, "Hell no, and you better not, Josh. No." And what kept bothering me is that at some point we got to let bygones be bygones. Let it go. And he was like, well, it's not that deep. Clearly it is. This young man is over here and he's tearing up. And this other old man over here is throwing out just all types of homophobic traits. And the wife is acting like she don't know what the hell is going on. It is that deep. It is that deep. And Carlos sitting there for what felt like 20 minutes, being like, well, let's just we can all come together. And no, we can't. And to be honest, as a as a black gay male, you're putting him in harm's way, because you want him to forgive this person who on your stage was being disrespectful to him, calling him all types of stuff. And then his friend was also then not defending him. It is that deep, and that's harmful. And that's scary as... Don't tell me, oh, I think we could get over it. It's not that deep. That man just called him a puppy. I didn't like how much, and especially as a black gay male, I did not like how much Carlos was trying to push Joshua to get over these issues with Cliff and Latrice. It irritated me. It bothered me to my soul. And as a member of the community, I was thinking, why would you do this to him? And then when he was trying to get him to get up, I just, girl, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Carlos, I love you, your mind, and how you are able to put stories together. This was irresponsible AF. This was not a good look. You were not doing the right thing. And I feel so bad for Josh. I want to Cashapp him right now if I knew where he was and what it was. Cliff is not, he's not safe to be around. He's uncomfortable to be around, even to his own wife. He called that man of the LGBTQIA community a puppy. Then was just like, I'm sorry, I apologize. And you're trying to force him to accept it. That man is unhinged, verbally abusive, and rude. And Cliff up there, Josh up there trying to be as strong as he can. It's not Carlos' fault. That's his job. No. April, no. I don't care if Cliff is an alcoholic, drug addict, meth head. I don't care about none of that. For him to then say he is all of those things, for Carlos then to say, well, let's y'all mend fences. That's irresponsible. That's irresponsible. Because I don't have to have relations with you. Me, just like Josh kept saying, I don't have issues. Me and his wife are good. Me and Latrice are good, which, I mean, that's questionable. But me and Latrice are good. I don't have to have any dealings with him. I still can go to work. Me and Latrice don't have no problems. I don't talk to her as much anymore. That's unfortunate, but we good. I don't have to have any relations with that man. I don't know, April. Why are we fighting today? Carlos said that he does not give. He did not. It was so bad. I started crying before Josh started crying because I'm thinking, Carlos, back off. Back off. And stop pushing this. The last 30 minutes of this reunion had me in tears. And I don't know, it's because I'm a member of the community and I see Josh and I've been in that position before. Now, my friends, they stand 10 tones down on me. But I've been in that position before where it's just like, girl, you've been telling me that he beating you, he yelling at you, and then I move into your house and he doing all this stuff, and then I bring it up and you trying to make it seem like I'm the one who's the problem, and your man is going around being like, you can't even hang out with me, because that was what his problem was. Well, I said I didn't like him, and then she went out to have drinks with him. Now you can't even have a cocktail with me, but you know that I know what's going on with you. I was very frustrated. And then to see Carlos keep badgering and trying to push this young man to sit here and have a relationship with someone who is clearly has homophobic tendencies and does not like him and is very rude, called him a puppy. Carlos, that was bullshit. And you need your ass whooped for what you did. And you know I love you down. It just, I hated to see Carlos like that. Carlos King is one of my idols. And to see him like that, I was so frustrated. I think that's probably why I did this video. And Josh, you need to back away from Latrice. That man was going through it, had to turn around and cry when it was over, cameras down. And who got up first? I mean, after Carlos, because he was badgering him and pushing him, and he didn't have the right verbiage. He did not say the right stuff. Well, you don't ask me that. Girl, at this point, I don't trust you. Can't do it. So he got up to check on him. That boy was crying down. Thank God Marie was there, at least, consoling him in his back and everything. But who got up first? Aikisha. And you were trying to push this relationship to make sure that Latrice and Cliff and everybody, they were okay. And it's not that deep and it's not that big of a deal. The first person who got up to go to him to make sure he was okay was Aikisha. And she even said to him, girl, we talked about this already. We know that this is a conversation that we are not going to be able to have here. And I don't know if that was a read to Carlos, but I took it as one. Girl, this is hard stuff. Me and you talk. We know what's going on. It's not going to be easy, and we can't have that conversation here. And you know what? The only thing Latrice wanted to do, I wanted to walk him out. And girl, what about your makeup? That's your friend. Like that's your friend. Aikisha got up and was like, I understand. Like, no, come on, we got this. We can pull it together. We already talked about this. It's gonna be a hard conversation. We got this. Don't worry about it. It's gonna take some time. We can't do that here. And Latrice gets up and says, girl, what about your makeup? That's your friend? Carlos, that's who you wanted him to make up with? Irresponsible. Y'all, the last 30 minutes had me heated. Heated. And he just kept pushing it. Well, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. I feel like we all here feel like it's not that deep. Who is we all here, Gra? Because it is. And I felt uncomfortable. I felt so uncomfortable watching it. Carlos needs your ass beat. Oh, Carlos needs his ass beat. He need his ass beat, or he need to sit down. I can't. You got to watch it, Veggie. It was. I mean, the series is a good series. I really do love the series. I don't like how fickle their own network is. And this is why it's hard for me to get into these shows and like stick with them, because if it's not Love and Marriage Huntsville, they treat the other shows like trash. Like, I love Love and Marriage DC. It comes on, it comes off. It takes year breaks. It's on and off. The Belle Collective, they take breaks, and then sometimes the stories don't mesh. he doesn't hold their feet to the fire. What I do love about the Belle Collective is that the husbands collectively get together and like I do what I do love about Carlos King shows is that we get a chance to see the wives and we hear their stories, but then also we see the partners of them coming together, communicating. Um, like I feel like partners would do. Like me and my friends do that, and the partners get together, or the other people. Like I see that when all the us girls get together, because I'm one of the guys. When all us girls get together, then we got the men in the back. They smoking cigars or doing fire. Like it seems true to form, and I love that about Carlos King shows. But also they're so fickle. So I hate to put you onto a new show on the own network because one year you'll watch it and it says it's renewed and you won't see it for another 3 years. You may not see it for another 3 years. Because that's just how the own network work, and they'll say season 1, and season 1 been going for 40 years. I just sometimes I just don't get the own network how they do programming. I felt bad for Joshy too. Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, as Mr. Bell collected because they're fickle. It's hard to keep viewership when y'all like this is season 1 part 3 and girl, when is the show coming back? I've been waiting for the last part of the Love and Marriage DC, which that ended off with a bang. Ended off with a bang. I was like, are they about to start rat-a-tat-tatting at the Christmas party? Girl, and then that was last year. We still haven't gotten them back. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Did those two actually have a wedding? The two new people, the girl that's in the band or whatever, I know they got married secretly. Did they have a wedding? Were they gonna have a wedding? What's going on with the son that went to Dorbs? Like, is he doing well, thriving? Like, it's so much. I don't care nothing about that book or anything that she got going on in her family and that DJ. I don't give no about them. What's going on with Winter? Is Winter still alive? Is she dating someone? Did she finally come out as a lesbian? I just like what's happening, and they make you wait so long. That's my only problem with OWN. It's just the programming is so scattered, and it makes it very hard for you to stay in tune because you're like, oh yeah, I did like that show, and you get in routines with these other networks because they'll just have a season, and now you're trying to figure out how do I fit in Love and Marriage DC or Huntsville, or how do I fit the Bell Collector into my schedule? Because I already got my schedule. Friday's not good for me now, and this is when you want to put it on because I got RuPaul's Drag Race, Traders comes up. Like, girl, you don't fit no more. So I do need OWN to get better at their programming. I don't know if I'm the only person who has these problems with OWN, but that's why I can't get into the shows. One of the shows that people keep telling me that I need to watch is what's that love show? Love at First, not Love at First Sight. What's the name of this show? Because somebody texted me about it yesterday. What's that show everybody like on OWN? Ready to Love. The girl, it seems like they are very consistent with Ready to Love, but the other shows, it seems like they just you'll see it when you see it. So, but if y'all haven't watched the show, watch the show. The seasons are a breeze. The women are complicated. Like the women on Bell Collective are complicated. And I love that. I love Marie Monroe. No one's gonna make me not love her. I don't care. She's staying on business. I feel like she's the most truth teller. I love Leticia and Glenn. They're just a hot mess. But I also feel like they're just the clown part of the show. Because he be popping up, she be popping up. I think they be having real arguments. But that's her man. She gonna stick beside him. So me getting upset about him popping up at a bar or doing whatever, or cheating or not cheating or whatever, it don't make no sense. I thought he was on boats for half the year, but he always home. And she has Leticia Piercing Enterprise, which I thought was supposed to be called Enterprises. And I guess they do brunches. We don't know. Like, it's just they're the clown part of the show. JJ and his wife, I really think that they could leave. They don't. I thought the mama part was gonna be really good because I thought she was gonna be like Dorothy or Candy's mother Dorothy, or she was gonna be like Candy's mama, Mama Joyce, but she's not as entertaining. She's overbearing, but she's not entertaining. And they're not fun. Like I ain't even never seen this lady even sell a house, and we've been calling her a realtor this whole time. So like they really could leave. I love Akeisha and Willie for the obvious reasons. I love Willie. Akeisha, I love how she picked up the baton, because you remember what my problem was is that it seemed like they just abandoned Fair Street. And I live all the way out here in DC, and I'm concerned about Fair Street. So I hated that the show's premise started with them trying to put together Fair Street, and then they stopped talking about it. So I'm glad Akeisha is there to at least bring Fair Street up, talk about what's going on with it, who's doing something with it, because it seemed like Leticia don't give about Fair Street no more at all. So I'm glad somebody's caring about Fair Street, because they made me care about Fair Street as a viewer. Latrice and Cliff, I think they're needed on the show, but they liars. They're liars. They're liars. They're big liars. And I can't get past that. But I think because them being liars and into the mix, it works. But I don't like them. I don't like the bubblegum bundles lady. Okay? That's what she sell her things out of bubblegum machines, right? I don't like the bubblegum bundles lady. And her husband is verbally abusive. And I'm staying 10 toes down on that. Tambra could have gone 2 seasons ago. Like, literally, I don't even understand. She must have had an ironclad contract, because I do not understand why Tambra's still there. I do not understand why Tambra's still there. Like, at all. She's not interesting. She talks like the outside. I don't understand why she's still there. Hey guys, welcome to the. I think people want her to help Latrice be the antagonist to Marie Monroe. Tambra can go. I'd rather see that dentist come back. What's going on with her office? Did she ever open up that dentistry office? What happened to the white man that she was married to? Did she got a new man? I thought her and Latrice was close friends. Why we don't see her even talk to her? Where that racist white lady at? Like, there's so many questions who's running the show? Let me get over here, y'all. But I had to get all of that out. Carlos, and you need your ass whooped for how you did Josh. You need to send him an edible arrangement and 2 dozen roses. And do better. Now, I'm not a talk show host. I don't do reunions. I just know as a viewer what I like to see. And I'm going to say to you, what I like to see is them have their discussions. So, 1, let the women speak. And if they have conflict, if they have fights, if they're having arguments, record it and let them do it until they get it out. And then move on to the next subject. Now, if it starts to go back and forth a lot and we're really not getting anywhere, then shut it down. But I feel like you wouldn't even let the girls go back and forth enough for us to realize if they were repeating stuff. Because it sounded like they were bringing up stuff and saying, no, you did da da da. And I'm thinking, wait a second, what? And then you're like, well, we're moving on. And I'm thinking, why? Stop. Especially episode 1 of this reunion, you were making me so mad. You were making me so upset. We're going to move on from this. It sounded like he brought up a subject and said, we're moving on from this. God, no. Like, let them talk. Let them do it. Let them do it. Number 2, I'm sorry. We love you and everybody knows you, but you're not a part of the show. So you had to learn to disassociate, okay, when it comes to these reunions. Let the people know I'm Carlos King, producer, executive producer, creator, whatever. And then now let us focus on the show that you have forced us to get to like. So you need to talk less. Talk less. Ask the hard-hitting questions and just ask them. Okay? Sometimes I feel like you be babying these girls. And this is not easy. That's for the confessional time. When they're doing their one-on-ones and their confessionals, those are the times when the people need to be babying them. I know this is hard for you to talk about it, how you feel. That's that. When we at the reunion, we saw Cliff put his hands on you. He be putting his hands on you. We don't need, you're a strong woman, you're a black woman, you're so strong, you're God, get to the question. You're so strong, everybody, people look up to you, you're a businesswoman, people on Twitter talk about, God, what is the question? Get to the question. Pump them up when you go to their glam rooms when they're getting ready. Girl, we're trying to get to the questions. Get to the questions. 2, you may have to do this in meetings with them separately as a cast, as the executive producer, but don't force nothing. If we want authentic, organic relationships between these women, now you can ask if they accept the apology, and if they say no, move on. Because they don't accept it. And that's organic. Shout out to Nene Leaks. That's organic. Keep it organic. I don't like you. You a lying ass bitch. And that's it. Now, maybe I'll give you one follow-up. Oh, you don't think maybe that things can change? Maybe not. Girl, and then we move on. Because we want organic relationships. Organic relationships. I can't keep saying organic. We want organic relationships. And you trying to force this young black gay male to be in relations with a man who, one, called him a puppy. He lived under a roof of abuse. His friend is not taking up for him. He's having a hard time even speaking because Cliff is trying to force him to do something he doesn't want to do. And you're then also trying to force him. Was very irresponsible of you. He can't allow them to admit abuse in fear of having the show canceled for a poor workplace. The abuse is happening in their marriage. The abuse happening in their marriage. Didn't Tambra say, oh, I talked all about the abuse and all the nobody's claiming poor workforce. Girl, tell your reality. Tell your reality. I feel like Latrice opened up a little bit more this season, but there's a lot more I feel like she could share. And the lies that she get, Oh, everybody jealous of me, and the girls want my girl. Don't nobody want that crazy. Now your house maybe, but nobody wants that crazy, abusive, nasty man. And there are men sitting on that couch who don't like him. Girl, you think the women want him? There are men who scoff at him even coming out and saying anything. JJ and Willie be looking at him like that man is a psycho. Only one who look up to him is that little boy Glenn. Nobody wants your life, wants your marriage, wants your nothing. The men don't even want to be around him. You think these women do? I want your damn life. Go on, grow up, go on. You stuck. And that's what I really feel like Latrice's problem is. She's stuck. And if she leave him, she leave him behind a whole lot. You stuck. And that's what I think her problem is. Do I think she probably loves him? I don't know. Oh, what's the name of that term? When you get it's like by proxy, you love someone, or you stick. You know how slaves stuck with their masters because at just some point you're just there. Oh, why is my brain not? Why is it's not coming to me? But I think she got that. The term's not coming to me, but I think she got that. Stockholm syndrome, yes. Thank you, boss lady Ross. I think it's Stockholm syndrome. I don't know, y'all. This reunion had me in tears. It had me really sad. And y'all pray for Josh. Like that, because that was the person that I was really the most affected by throughout this whole entire second part. It was only Josh. I felt for Josh. I was getting frustrated with Carlos talking to Josh, how he was communicating with Josh, how he was forcing Josh. I felt bad at the end when Josh was crying, and the person who got up was Aikisha, and not his own friend. His friend only got up to exit him out the door and said, "Well, what about your makeup?" It brought me back. Y'all, I don't know. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about all of this in the comments. What did y'all feel about the episode? How did y'all feel about the irresponsibility of Carlos? Or if y'all feel like he was just doing his job. Tell me how y'all feel about all of the ladies on the show and the husbands. Don't talk about Big Willie because that's my husband. But this was a good episode because it really reached my emotions. But I think it was because Carlos King made me mad and not because of the stories of the ladies, which that kind of sucks. All in all, if you all want to know more about me and everything that's going on, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter, BusyBlu, no space, no E. I'm not saying I'm gonna be back for a long time. I had feelings and I came on to express my feelings. I want to thank everybody who follows me, who is a member of mine. I'm gonna be doing a members only video to talk to you about some of the stuff that I'm going through, just to get those things out. So thank you for continuing to support me, because y'all keeping this channel afloat. Make sure you like, you comment, subscribe, tell me your thoughts. I'm about to go get busy, and you all stay busy. On till next time.